What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Roman Reigns out of WrestleMania 36 and who is rumored to replace him. A lot of WWE superstars are angry with Vince backstage, more legal troubles for Teddy Hart, the WWE not paying the revival, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the first bit of news, as Roman Reigns is out of WrestleMania 36. Breaking news concerning the Roman Reigns vs Bill Goldberg match for the Universal Championship, as Pro Wrestling Sheet's Ryan Satin is reporting that sources with knowledge of the situation tell us Reigns expressed to WWE that he didn't feel comfortable doing any more of the Performance Center shows during the pandemic because he's immunocompromised from his battle with leukemia and didn't want to risk his health. We're told WWE honoured his request and he will now be replaced by someone else in the match against Goldberg, though it's unclear who at this time. So who could be replacing him? Well, there is currently a lot of speculation as to who is replacing the big dog, and Wrestling Insider WrestleVotes tweeted a gif of Braun Strowman hugging Roman Reigns, which could suggest he's stepping in. After all, it makes a bit of sense. Braun Strowman is a big star, he has no WrestleMania plans, as of yet, and it will be interesting considering Strowman and Goldberg have never had a one-on-one match with each other. Dave Meltzer also mentioned on the recent Wrestling Observer Radio, where he confirmed Braun Strowman will be his opponent. Roman Reigns did not wrestle Bill Goldberg. I believe Braun Strowman wrestled Bill Goldberg. Roman Reigns made the call himself. How will this drastically change the rest of the WWE year? Well, we'll have a further video on that later on. Next up, many wrestlers are upset with Vince backstage. With sports programming shelved due to restraints imposed by social distancing, the WWE and AEW are an alternative for some fans. Nonetheless, many fans and wrestling pundits were surprised by the WWE's decision to go ahead with WrestleMania 36. This is despite the promotion having to air from the WWE Performance Center. According to PW Insider's Mike Johnson, the decision was made by one person. I can confirm after speaking to dozens of people in the company, I'm talking wrestlers, behind the scenes people, whatever. There is only one person who felt that they should have went forward with WrestleMania, and that's why they're going forward with WrestleMania, and that's Vince. Vince McMahon may be out of touch in the eyes of some, but there's no denying he still rules the roost in the WWE, and that no one has stepped up to challenge his decisions yet. Do you think WrestleMania 36 will be a success? Let us know in the comments down below. But whether you think it's going to be a success or not, WWE is staying at the Performance Center. The WWE has been busy taping episodes of its weekly television as well as this year's WrestleMania at the Performance Center, and they may be staying there for some time. Pro Wrestling Sheet's Ryan Satin recently tweeted, "The stay-at-home order in Orange Country, where PC is located, is scheduled to last until April 9th. From what I'm hearing, WWE has already filmed the April 6th Raw after Mania matches, and it sounds like they're planning to continue filming at the PC once the order is lifted." As noted in an earlier news video, the WWE may not be able to tape episodes there due to the stay-at-home order, but with all their shows taped through 6th April, they should be in good shape, particularly since WrestleMania has been completed. Next up, Week 26 of the Wednesday Night War. Who won? Half a year into the Wednesday Night War and the ratings are in for Week 26. PW Insider's Dave Shearer is reporting that the 25th March edition of AEW did 819,000 overnight viewers, down from last week's 932,000 overnight viewers. The 25th March edition of NXT did 669,000 overnight viewers, up from last week's 542,000 overnight viewers. After getting shellacked in the ratings last week, NXT went from no matches to a show with matches, and as usual, the current health crisis made the news must-see television for many people, and as the Wrestling Observer Figure 4 Online's Paul Fontaine noted, if you eliminated CNN and Fox News from the rankings, Dynamite would have finished second in 18-49, trailing only VH1's Black Ink Crew. Fontaine also explained that despite the drop from last week, AEW still fared well, pointing out the audience total was down 12% from last week, but Dynamite was only down 3% in the key demo. Both the viewership and rating number were right in line with the average over the last 10 weeks. NXT continues to struggle, but next week could be a big week as the Black and Gold brand is holding some of the matches originally scheduled for NXT TakeOver Portland on Wednesday's television show. Will that be enough to give NXT a much needed win, and will it give them a momentum to score more ratings wins? If not, the program is in trouble as Wrestling Inc. is reporting this is the lowest NXT viewership for a first run episode. Last week's viewership ranked lower, but that was for an episode with no new matches. Do you guys think NXT can turn things around? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Teddy Hart arrested again. Wrestler Teddy Hart's legal woes continue as he seems to have a revolving door in and out of the Richmond County Jail. WrestlingNews.co's Paul Davis reported on the Hart family member's last brush with the law. The 40-year-old was released from Richmond County Jail on March 19th after violating house arrest after being arrested on 4th March. He was also arrested on February 12th on 3 charges of possession of a Schedule III controlled substance, and possession with intent to sell and distribute. Now Hart has been arrested again, this time for allegedly assaulting and choking wrestler Maria Manic at the home of indie wrestler Ace Montana. Montana posted a video of him confronting Hart along with the following message: "I literally had to pull my on Teddy Hart and throw him out of my friend's house. This piece of literally choked out and physically assaulted Maria Manic. I would not let her get help. She texted me I'm in danger. Never ever did I think I would meet a piece of like this guy who has now been arrested with a felony against him. I don't think this guy knew how close to death he was. F you Teddy Hart, this video is kicking him out before the cops came and arrested him." No word on what Hart's latest charges are, but Wrestlelamia will continue to monitor the situation. Next up is the WWE Streaming Deal Off. It looks like the WWE's attempts to sell the streaming rights to its pay-per-views is off. That's according to entertainment site Deadline.com. WWE last year had promised a transformative deal, presumably selling the WWE Network to a large streaming company. The expectation was that if a deal was struck, it would occur in the first quarter prior to WrestleMania 36, which starts April 4th. We do not believe Mr. McMahon would be entertaining a prepaid forward contract on 15% of his shares, about 3.5 million of them, in front of such an announcement. The WWE is by no means the only entertainment company experiencing financial difficulties, but as we've noted before, it has a large cash reserve to help it through the current crisis. Next up, WWE applies for WrestleMania 36 related trademarks. With WrestleMania 36 drawing closer, the WWE has been busy taping this year's showcase of the Immortals, as well as protecting its intellectual property. According to PW Insider's Steve Fernandez, the WWE applied for trademarks on 20th March for I Wasn't There and Too Big for One Night. Next up, bad news for WWE Hall of Famer. Wrestlelamia was saddened to learn of a cancer diagnosis for WWE Hall of Famer Bob Armstrong. One of Bob's sons, Scott, tweeted, "Today my 80-year-old dad, WWE Hall of Famer Bullet Bob, asked if he could come over to get a workout. He's got bone cancer in his ribs, shoulder and prostate and chose not to go through any treatment. His choice. I put 30 pounds on there and he said, give me 100 pounds. The patriarch of the Armstrong wrestling family was a top star during the territory days, competing in a number of southern promotions including Mid-South Wrestling, Southeastern Championship Wrestling, Georgia Championship Wrestling and others as Bullet Bob Armstrong. He trained his sons Brad, Scott and Brian, aka the Road Dogg, for their respective careers and entered the WWE Hall of Fame in 2011. Next up, the WWE is not paying the Revival. The Revival have been unhappy with the WWE for some time and now they may have another reason to be unhappy. In an exclusive story, Fightful.com's Sean Ross Sapp is reporting multiple sources within WWE have heard that the Revival either weren't getting paid or that it was extremely scaled back because they've already exceeded their downside guarantees. According to the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dawson hasn't been paid in 6 or 7 weeks. Perhaps even more interesting is that it could be some time before the Revival are able to work elsewhere. According to Wrestling Inc.'s Mark Middleton, Wilder's contract expires in mid-June, and it's been expected for more than a year now that the Revival will sign with AEW once they're free agents from WWE. It was noted that Dawson can't sign with AEW until Wilder is free, which means Dawson has to wait until June until he starts making money elsewhere. Hopefully Scott Dawson has some money banked, so he can wait until Dash Wilder is able to join him. The Revival would be a great addition to AEW and it's likely the promotion is waiting for them with open arms. And finally, multiple WWE superstars are off television due to signs of illness. Now, Roman Reigns didn't want to make the risk, and rightfully so, as many WWE superstars have shown signs of illness. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, names are being kept confidential because so few know, but it's been confirmed that multiple people on the card either said they were sick, which meant instantly being pulled off all shows this week. There were also others who did not feel sick but had fevers above 100.4, which was the WWE's cutoff point of not allowing people to work, and others who on their own said they didn't feel comfortable flying in. We might get to know who these names are in the next few days, but we wish them all a speedy recovery. But there you have it guys, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below on who should replace Roman Reigns in WrestleMania. Subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.